Hi there, welcome to this tutorial for the ukulele play-alongs of Oo-de-Lally, which is from the Disney Robin Hood. You can find that at the Uke Play-alongs channel on YouTube. What we're going to do in this video is first of all talk about the chords you need for GCEA soprano concert tenor ukulele. Then we'll talk about the chords you need for DGBE baritone ukulele. And then we'll talk about strumming and picking. If you want to support the work on this channel, there are three things you can do. First of all, you can like this video. Second, you can subscribe to my two channels, both the Uke Play-alongs channel on YouTube and the UkeStuff channel on YouTube. And third, you can always buy me a cup of coffee to say thank you for making this content at www.buymeacoffee.com/UkeStuff. All right, let's begin with the chords you need for GCEA soprano concert or tenor ukulele. First, you'll need the D chord. Now, there are a number of ways you can play the D chord. I like to play the D chord like this. I put my first finger at the top of the third string, second fret, and my other two fingers around it, making sort of a G7 shape in that same fret area for D. Now, the books all show you fingers 1, 2, and 3 in a row. That works. You may want to use 2, 3, 4 in a row. That works as well. You may want to use two fingers where you cover strings 4 and 3 with one finger and then string 2 with the second finger. Or you may want to bend your ring finger like that, cover strings 4, 3, and 2, leaving string 1 open. Any one of those will work for D, just don't play it with your thumb like that. The second chord you'll need is the A chord. And by the way, just as a side note, one of the reasons I like playing the D chord like that is that you will often change to A or A7, which is a little shift of moving your first finger back down, leaving the other finger there. That's part of the reason why I like to play D that way, not only because my hands fit, but because it makes for easier chord changes to A and F sharp minor. The next chord is the E7 chord. It's one of my favorite chords just for the feeling of how it's played, and I rotate my wrist up a little bit to get that. I don't twist my wrist, but I just rotate my arm and wrist to get that E7. Then an A7, a B7. Now, you could play this as a bar chord, but we're going to play it with a 3-finger chord on GCA. First finger is going on the second string, second fret. Second finger is going on the third string, third fret, and the ring finger is going on the fourth string, fourth fret. The B7 chord. And then finally, we have the E flat diminished 7. It is a 4-finger chord or a bar chord. I like it with 4 fingers to get more clarity with it. I put down fingers 1 and 2 right where I would play a D7, and then I add fingers 3 and 4 right underneath it. That's the E flat diminished 7, only happens at the end of the song. And those are the 6 chords you need to play on GCEA soprano concert tenor ukulele. Now let's talk about baritone. All right, on baritone you'll need the D chord, the A chord, the E7 chord, and A7 chord. This will be a bar chord. First finger is going to go across all 4 strings right above the metal second fret. You're going to pull against the fretboard like this. That will give you most of the leverage for your sound. And then you just add the second finger to the first string, third fret, and I support with my thumb just a little bit. And then a B7 chord. And then finally an E flat diminished 7 chord, which is a 4-finger chord for me. You can play it with a bar chord, but I like to use 4 fingers for clarity. I put fingers 1 and 2 on strings 4 and 2 at the first fret, and then I put down the other 2 fingers. That's the E flat diminished 7. Now let's talk about strumming. Now, as it comes to strumming, please keep in mind that there was no ukulele in the original version of this song, so therefore there is not one single right answer. And even if you're playing baritone ukulele, even though you may have the top 4 strings of the guitar, which was used to play the song, you're missing the bottom 2 strings of a guitar, which are really important in what the guitar player is doing. So we're going to approximate this on ukulele. However, I do want you to keep in mind that there are a bunch of answers here. You don't have to do what I'm going to do. You can do something else that you like as long as it works with the song. So here are the rules for strumming. The first one is play the right chord at the right time. The second is keep a steady beat, whether you're playing by yourself or you're playing with the video. And third, make sure that whatever you're doing sort of matches the style of the music, because there are some strumming patterns that just aren't going to work. Now, what you're hearing on the guitar is an alternating bass line between the bottom 2 strings of the guitar, and we can't quite replicate that on the ukulele. So if you want to replicate what the guitar is doing, the closest thing you're going to get to on the ukulele is to alternate between strings 3 and 4 with your thumb. And in between those, you'll do a down strum, either with one finger or with all 4 fingers. So like this. That will work really well for the whole song. And that's basically all you have to do is pick, strum, 3 strum, 4 strum. Also works in baritone. Let me show you. So here's what you're going to get on baritone. 3 strum, 4 strum, 3 strum, 4 strum, 3 strum, 4 strum, 3 strum, 4 strum. And that will work with every chord through the whole song. So with those chords and with those strumming patterns, that's all you need to do to be successful. Thanks so much for joining for this video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.